Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the main news on Camnet TV. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Let's take a look at the stories making headlines. BAROTSE Royal Establishment in INDUNA short date. NANJUWA launches CHIKANZA MUNYAMA irrigation project in ITEZHI-TEZHI. LEVY MWANAWASA Hospital accused of denying access to patients. In international news, Israel forces raid Gaza's SHIFA hospital. And in sports news, Kenyan athlete ASBEL RUTTO breaks record to win Rome Marathon. I will be back with the details after this.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. Camnet TV is on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 25 on GoTV, and find us on channel 106 on Topstar. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Thank you so much for staying with us, and now the news in detail. Bedsiders at Levy MWANAWASA Hospital have complained over the alleged denial by the facility to grant them access to their sick loved ones. The aggrieved bedsiders have told Camnet News that restrictive nature of the hospital has resulted in some of them failing to see their relatives in 3 days. The bedsiders, who opted to remain anonymous, says the situation has left them in the dark over the conditions of their loved ones, as they have failed to meet doctors to get information.
Some bedsiders at Lusaka Levy MWANAWASA Hospital have accused management at the facility of denying them access to their loved ones on the basis of a directive from the Ministry of Health. The aggrieved bedsiders say the stringent restrictions have resulted in their loved ones remaining without company.
This is bedside. Ero tu mwati kangina muwadi. Ijanti machoka tukachoka 7:30 kubura mu 13 hours. Tidanda ola kontawo italimpa. Bena ngopeza patient sakwanisa kuyenda. Bena ngopeza ti madaipa tsensa madaipa. Upeza patient kuchoka 7 hours kufika 13 hours. Mawazi ankala yatali upeza ti apya.
Another bedsider from outside Lusaka had this to say.
Toka kwa mpanja. Tinabwera noziba kuti tibwera kuno napima mwana chino wakufa mala. So kubwera kuno manje kankalidwe nilineka nilipepo ntandiza. Ona. So manje kungena mkati chikanga. Balesa kungena mkati moja. Tikabwera panja pano futwa tipisha pano konkhala kulibe.
And Victor Banda, one of the bedsiders who has been at the facility from last week Monday, questioned the point of admissions when the facility cannot allow bedsiders.
Outside, they were told not to come in because they were told so by the minister. I don't know whether it's the minister or the concern of the hospital, but what's really happening, they were given an instruction by the hospital management not to allow people to come inside. Even the bedsiders also, they are not allowed to be on the bedside. So what's the name of a bedsider? If the bedsider is not allowed to be on the bedside, then you know, issues to do with the bedsider. Doctors come, you are the one who's supposed to explain exactly what's happening to your patient. No, you're not allowed, you're not given a chance to talk to a doctor. You are told to be outside as early as 5 o'clock in the morning.
Efforts to get a comment from management at the facility proved futile as phones went unanswered. However, the restrictions are believed to be an effort to prevent cholera and COVID-19. Prudence Chibwe for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Luwampa District's Nkenga Rural Health Center is in urgent need of rehabilitation as the facility is operating with leaking roofs, making it inhabitable during rainfall season. In an interview, one of the concerned residents, Nosikuna Menda, says the Rural Health Center is in a shortage of accommodation for patients, resulting in a ward being shared among male, female and children. Ms. Namenda is since urging the government to construct additional structures at the facility.
The government, through the Ministry of Health, aims to provide effective and quality health care services as close to the families as possible. This ensures equitable access to health care delivery and is in line with the Sustainable Development Goals on health and other healthy priorities. However, Nkenga Rural Health Center in Luwampa District lacks proper structures. Currently, the only existing structure at the facility has a leaking roof, which makes it difficult for patients to receive sustainable services. Some residents of Nkenga area are therefore appealing to the government to renovate the health center and construct a maternity annex and additional wards, as there is only one room which serves as a ward for both men, women, children, and also functions as a maternity annex. Speaking to Camnet News in Nkenga area, Smart Nyambe is appealing to the local government to construct more structures at the facility.
Kikuli malumu abakuli bakopana alumu ilimu kutaye muna yakula musali yakula kaufera kilumu Yesu ano na yeo mirufu manakuli kunani butata butunahulu elao nafa balafi baluna abanji pasipate lafa bakopane zimandu kikuli aluna mandu akondile kapaluna mandu amangata lukupatuso kwa muso waluna oliteni balwekeleze kwa mandu abalafi kuli basike bakopanela malumu kapa kukopanela mandu chole yoko nakupo yaluna kwa muso kuli uluhupule.
Other people who express their concerns includes Nosikuna Menda, Chivinga Mukanda and Charles Chioya.
Maternity tusa izibu kaofini wodi fo moba kulela watu kona kunele mutu yakula wena hawinzi mwaleba zeza harakafa mwaleba bakutwa mwale mwodi mwinzi kamona kukopa nina mateni ni bana musali fambeta fa amuna fambeta fa chekona kutata bolufumana kabona ni bana fibaluna mandu hakuna mwandu nindu ngafumana kuli kwiziba lafi bababeli babalalu cheki halu kupa kwini balafi baluna babatire kote ni mandu bayahelo kote ni mandu
kalu mchipate ya mafundozo ka mjesiment ya kuwa isesa moyahi chipate ya chetu tinapande tengo kutishokolola ngabaka mazimo bapapelemo olonansi bwino angabichirina kushupeka.
Our clinic, the maternity wing, is up to now. They are failing to. The structure is there, but they are failing to finish up the structure. Water, sanitation. The maternity wing and the clinic facility, they have failed to put the water, running water in the facility.
A comment from the area councillor proved fatal by press time. Musebo Kabira, Camnet News in Nkenga area, Luwampa District, Western Province.
Some Lusaka residents have expressed concern over moral decay manifesting among youths in the country. Speaking in an interview, Esther Banda has proposed that government stiffens laws to monitor misconduct among children and the youths in society. President Hakainde Hichilema, during the national address on the update of application of national values and morals last Friday, expressed concern over decaying morals in society.
Lusaka residents have expressed mixed reactions over the state of morals and values in the society. During his address on the update of the application of morals and values, President Hakainde Hichilema expressed concern over the moral decay in the society, with 36,000 divorce cases recorded in 2023. One of the residents, Esther Banda, says government should stiffen the law on morals and values to protect children from issues such as indecent dressing.
Mavalido y'abaana amagezi ano yavuta ndaba mwana nangomona atavala mkombo lipanja sunga mkambise wa parent nangu wakambo tu mkambise atinangomena chokera so nanuone so twipaga na fight bantu kwa meti choki.
Another concerned resident, Timothy Mwewa, says young people have refused to heed advice from parents, adding that government has limited disciplinary measures.
Mayanda, abene ba mayanda bali chepa mulandu wa bakashana aka imifwalire yaka eno lesanganga nafwala nangungalenda na kaputula mukati kale moneka tetieshi okufula manangu pano noyo usheko ena chisuma techisuma yo ulandeko ati mwakula imwendani chabe kumunzi ushe chisuma techisuma nangu pano noyo bali kwata freedom umume wa government nabwa bakapokola nabwa batiyo walufyanya shinshe kuti ati bala basuminisha mifwalire yaso.
For Frank Banda, however, the blame goes to parents who have failed to control their children.
Singa blame na government na freedom wanu alonse che blame kwenachukira ndiko kuchosai most remantikulira pa nyumba na vene vati letera ndevibo pasa na behaviors yachuka kuma youth manje banyumba ngatwano shemo kulira na parents bako swako ikamo mamanazi abwino kwambira kufana ma dressing yanaweza kukulisa ndoko kwa kulisa ndimoza kulirana. Then second I think na behavior share makoro pa nyumba na even karako na impact cause most ngati makoro batashiwa consequence sinza mbombera nsoni nani kumhala na behavior ya makoro so that nani consequence wazintasha ngati makoro kubena vena washita and most rama opezati makoro papa nyumba pa bena bevistikapo.
Prudence Chibwe for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Government in Southern Province has directed immediate setup of a team to explore and offer technical support on the possibilities of irrigated winter crops along the banks of the Kafue River. Southern Province Minister Credo NANJUWA says President Hakainde Hichilema's declaration of an emergency food disaster calls for a multi-sectoral approach, which requires realigning all district activities and available resources towards food production. Meanwhile, Chief CHIKANZA MUNYAMA, who took the minister and his team on a conducted tour, says he has set aside more than 287 hectares of land along Kafue River for irrigation. The duo was speaking during the official launch of the CHIKANZA MUNYAMA Winter Maize Irrigation Project in Chief CHIKANZA's area Sunday.
Southern Province Minister Credo NANJUWA has launched the Winter Maize Irrigation Project in ITEZHI-TEZHI district. The irrigation project, dubbed CHIKANZA MUNYAMA, is in response to President Hakainde Hichilema's declaration of a national disaster and emergency following the drought which has damaged maize in several parts of the country. Speaking during the launch, Mr. NANJUWA directed District Agriculture Coordinator and District Commissioner's offices to immediately set up a team to explore and offer technical support on the possibilities of irrigated winter crops along the banks of Kafue River.
This is the flagging off of this project, which will escalate across the whole province in all the 33 chiefdoms. We'll continue working with them, but we are very happy with what is here, taking into consideration that certain corrections will be done and certain care will be done. For example, livestock is not affected because this is another area where livestock also finds its food. So all those are issues that we are going to look at and work in conjunction with the chiefdom and the rest of the district officials.
Mr. NANJUWA says he expects all systems to move in earnestly without bureaucratic excuses.
Let us work with a view of delivering on time, being timely is of essence now. So, sir, let us work. We don't want again after 3 months no, it is in the pipeline. It's in the process. There is no more process now. Let it be done and we start. It comes to the province, PS also follow it up.
Chief CHIKANZA Munyama of the Ira-speaking people of ITEZHI-TEZHI district has since set aside 287 hectares for the project.
Now, in the meantime, we are going to use what we have. So, after you have left this place, to be serious, in the next 3 days, this whole area will be planted here, so that we can harvest by July and plant again and harvest by October, November. So that is the vision here. The seed which we are going to use is medium maturity.
Meanwhile, Provincial Permanent Secretary Namani Monze says government, through the Minister of Agriculture, is ready to provide implements such as tractors for the irrigation project.
Food for the animals. Then that's number one. Then number two, let's see where we can. Then in terms of when it comes to technology, as soon as you give us the hectareage, then it becomes easy to start deciding, do we hunt solar for them? Do we hunt diesel?
For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula.
Chief Musaka of Mushindana District, Northwestern Province, has expressed fears that the source of the curfew is on the verge of disappearing due to foreign nationals who have invaded the area. The traditional leader says the foreign nationals are harvesting trees for charcoal in the headwater at the source of the Kafue River, an ecological sensitive zone. The traditional leader has since appealed to First Quantum Minerals, FQM, and other non-governmental organizations like Center for Environment Justice to implement a conservation project in the area. He was speaking at the Traditional Leaders Caucus on Ending Forest Fires, organized by Center for Environment Justice, CEJ, in Solwezi District, Northwestern Province. Meanwhile, Chieftainess Chikola, who borders DRC, and Musaka Chiefdom, said there is need to do more to protect forests.
This place has been invaded by people coming from a foreign country. You know that country. They are doing Chekobeni. They are doing all sorts of work there. Now, my fear is that if this continues, the Kafue River may dry. The Kafue is the one that is feeding water on the Copper Belt, Southern Province, and other parts of the country. Now, I've tried to appeal several times to certain organizations that come to visit my chiefdom to help us come up with a project. The chiefdom, any corporate entity, those that are capable, like FQM, and also the government. But then these requests are falling on deaf ears, not been answered. So today I would like to take this opportunity to ask FQM to come to our rescue.
No one is going down to check on that land. I found beacons in the forest area, your area, whereby they are giving plots for themselves. So I don't know how you are working. Is it just the name of forest people and not doing the work?
Lawyers representing Lusaka businessman Shedrick Kasanda have requested the Lusaka Magistrate Court to institute a preliminary investigation in the matter in which he is charged with aggravated robbery involving $5 million. The lawyers, comprising UPND Katombora Member of Parliament Clement Adeleki, Nkula Bota, also told the court that it is illegal to keep Mr. Kasanda in detention for a period of 7 months without being committed to the High Court for trial. Allegations are that Shedrick Kasanda on August 13, 2023 in Lusaka, jointly and whilst acting together with other persons unknown, Armed did steal $5 million from Michael Abdul Botros and in the process threatened to use acts of violence to Botros in order to return or obtain the things stolen. Magistrate Njovu adjourned the matter to March 21, 2024 for ruling on whether to order a preliminary inquiry in the matter. The Director of Public Prosecutions, Gilbert Piri, has refused to grant consent to Opposition Patriots for Economic Progress PAPE President Sean Tembo to privately prosecute a matter where he dragged United Party for National Development UPND Secretary General Batuka Imenda to court for hate speech. In this matter, the opposition leader had sued Mr. Imenda for calling Lusaka Archbishop Alec Banda the Lucifer of Zambia.
The ruling United Party for National Development Secretary General Batuka Imenda has breathed the air of freedom after the Director of Public Prosecution Gilbert Piri refused to issue consent in a matter. The UPND Chief Executive Officer was charged with 1 count of hate speech contrary to Section 65 of the Cybersecurity and Cybercrimes Act No. 2 of 2021 of the laws of Zambia. Allegations were that on May 28, 2023, in an audio circulation from a press briefing held at the UPND Secretariat in Lusaka, the UPND Secretary General said and published on various media platforms hate speech language towards Lusaka Catholic Archbishop Alec Banda by way of referring to him as the Lucifer of Zambia. However, when the matter came up Monday for ruling at the Lusaka Magistrate Court, Magistrate Nsunge Chanda informed the two parties that the DPP refused to give Opposition Patriots for Economic Progress President Sean Tembo consent to proceed with the private prosecution of the UPND Secretary General. As such, Magistrate Chanda dismissed the matter owing to the position of the DPP. Meanwhile, the court also dismissed the application by Mr. Imenda to refer the case to the Constitutional Court for constitutional reference because there were no constitutional issues to be determined, as the issues raised fall under the Criminal Procedure Code Act, Cap 88 of the laws of Zambia. In the last sitting, the defense also applied that Mr. Tembo was incompetent to sit at the bar because he was impotent at law and was just an ordinary person who knew nothing as far as the law was concerned, but the court dismissed the application, stating that the complainant had a choice on whether to hire a lawyer or not. However, this decision by the DPP did not sit well with the opposition leader Sean Tembo, who has labeled the DPP of playing double standards. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
The Lusaka Magistrate Court has issued a warrant of arrest against Opposition Economic and Equity Party leader Chilufya Tayali in a matter he is charged with hate speech. Mr. Tayali is reportedly out of the country as per his Facebook postings. He has been absconding court sessions in a matter he is charged with 1 count of showing hatred, ridicule or contempt for persons because of race. This came to light when the matter was reallocated to another magistrate.
Outspoken Opposition Economic and Equity Party leader Chilufya Tayali will have to quench the fire at the top of his legal battle as the Lusaka Magistrate Court has issued a bench warrant of arrest for absconding court sessions. The opposition leader, who is reportedly out of the country and vocal with his usual live post on social media, has been slapped with a warrant of arrest for absconding from court sessions in a matter he is charged with 1 count of showing hatred, ridicule or contempt for persons because of race, contrary to Section 70, subsection 1 of the Penal Code, Chapter 87 of the laws of Zambia. When the matter came up for continuation of trial before Magistrate MWANAWASA, the state informed the court that the accused was not present before the court for the second time, prompting them to apply for the accused to be brought on bench warrant to court. Allegations are that Mr. Tayali, on January 26, 2023 in Lusaka, in a live broadcast on his Facebook page, said the words that Bembas were youthful idiots, words expressing or showing hatred, ridicule or contempt for the Bemba people because of tribe and place of origin. However, due to the absence of the accused, the prosecution applied to have a bench warrant issued against him to have the accused arrested and taken before the court to explain and show cause why he should not be committed to prison for absconding court sessions. Going by his Facebook postings, the now on the wanted list opposition leader is alleged to be out of the country. Meanwhile, Magistrate Simvula adjourned the matter to 27th March 2024 for the return of bench warrant. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
That item leads us to our first set of commercials. I will be back with more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palabana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodlands, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Thank you so much for staying with us, but now continue with more news. The Zambia Council for Social Development has called on government to involve the community and other relevant stakeholders in the realignment of the national budget to respond to the drought. In an interview with Camnet News, ZCSD Program Manager Zebis Mumba says government should incorporate the public in the drafting of every national budget to ensure accountability and spearhead development in the country. Mr. Mumba adds that the organization is ready to partner with government to submit areas of priority to the Ministry of Finance for every budget cycle to help it actualize national aspirations. Recently, President Hakainde Hichilema declared the drought as a national disaster and emergency, which will result in the realignment of the 2024 national budget.
Following the negative implications of the drought on the country's economic outlook, Republican President Hakainde Hichilema declared the drought situation as a national disaster and emergency, with remarks of realignment of the national budget being one of the mitigating measures as stated in his address to Parliament on the progress made in the application of national values and principles.
Madam Speaker, this is in line with our declaration of the current drought due to El Nino as a national disaster and national emergency. And following this declaration, as I said, the 2024 national budget is being reviewed to move resources, Madam Speaker, away from consumption expenditure, habits, bad habits, workshops, perpetual workshops, to meet to talk about the next meeting. No. Money will be moved away from those areas, which you, the parliamentarians, had already approved. We're now asking you to revisit that and move money to areas such as water harvest, feeding our people, to start with, Madam Speaker. Priorities to feed our people.
The pronouncement, which has seen many stakeholders suggest additional measures of combating the drought, has left many in anticipation of how the budget will be adjusted. In view of this, the Zambia Council for Social Development has called on government to seek dialogue with the community and stakeholders to effectively adjust the national budget. ZCSD Programs Manager believes that the public needs to be engaged for every budget to foster development and accountability of resources.
The government's pronouncement that they would want to align the national budget really to address issues of climate change and ensure that it addresses the impending disaster is actually welcome. So we would want also to lay bare our structures in such kind of districts that we are ready to work with government in terms of trying to make sure that we align priorities of the national budget to addressing issues of climate change. And should there be any need for our...
Chanda Mwango for Camnet News in Lusaka.
A BAROTSE lawyer establishment in INDUNA, Inete of Salambango village in Nalubutu chiefdom has been shot dead by unknown people. Western Province Police Commissioner Chileshe Mukuka says 72-year-old Mwangelwa Akapelwa was shot dead from the back at his residence at around 22 hours on Sunday. Mr. Mukuka says the deceased at 8 hours had gone with his son, Tawila Akapelwa, who reported the incident in the company of other two relatives, to check on his field in the plains at Luangei area, where it was reported that there was a snake in his field. He says the victim returned at 15 hours and engaged in some errands up to 22 hours when he was shot at whilst closing the door of his Toyota Hilux vehicle by a known assailant who is suspected to have been waiting for him within the yard.
Scores of residents in Limulunga district have been left in shock after BAROTSE Royal Establishment BRE Senior Induna Inete Akapelwa Silumbu was shot dead by unknown persons at his house in Limulunga last night. Western Province Police Commissioner David Chileshe has confirmed the incident.
In around 22 hours, when he returned, he went to his house after parking the vehicle and he took some groceries into the house. When he came back now to come and secure the vehicle, that is how he was shot when he had entered the vehicle on the driver's side. And the firearm was found at the back of the vehicle because this is a single cab that he was driving. So the firearm was thrown in the tailgate of the vehicle. We have commenced investigations into the matter and we will surely bring the culprits to book.
An elder brother to the deceased, Tawila Sulumbu, has described his death as horrifying, stating that he was the family breadwinner.
A helpful young man, not only Kuna, but in Bambasika Fera, Manani Zambia, the whole Zambia. Matuna. He left me staggering. Where do I go? Mashemi waka. Kule hauna ni maswabi, hauna mazwa materi ya kupulela. I'm completely shocked.
Meanwhile, Limulunga District Commissioner Lutangu Lutangu has urged people to allow the law enforcement wing to execute their work and desist from speculations.
We have known each other since our school days at St. John's. He was a year ahead of me, and for me to learn of his departure is very devastating, and I still can't believe that it has happened. Let the law take its course. There are still some investigations going on, and while these are going on, let us discourage speculation.
Induna Inete Akapelwa Silumbu was ranked amongst the topmost Indunas in the BRE establishment. Stella Goma reporting for Zanis in Limulunga District, Western Province.
The National Union of Public and Private Educators of Zambia, NUPEZ, has urged the Teaching Service Commission to prevent instances of recruiting teachers without qualifications. In the 2023-2024 teacher recruitment exercise, more than 400 teachers were found lacking full grade 12 certificates during the distribution of appointment letters. Speaking in an interview, NUPEZ Executive President Victor Moyumba said institutions charged with the responsibility of selecting teachers should put in place measures to prevent issues of employing teachers without full grade 12 certificates. Mr. Moyumba adds that measures should extend to teacher training colleges, where the trend of recruiting students in the name of them rewriting whilst in college is rampant.
With the pending recruitment of teachers for 2024, we call upon institutions that scrutinize the credentials of the applicants. And in this case, even Teaching Council of Zambia is included. The Zambia Qualifications Authority also is included. That before these people can apply, they need to be scrutinized. And Teaching Council of Zambia, for instance, is not supposed to give the registration certificate to someone whose credentials haven't been scrutinized. Well, that is what the Teaching Service Commission relies upon. When one produces that, it should be an indication that that person's qualifications are in order. And here we are talking about both academic and professional qualifications. Even as we do this, can we also look at what is happening in the colleges and universities that we have in this country? And we mean both public and private. To what extent are we enrolling these students? Do we follow the minimum qualifications, or we simply relax and tell them whenever you make the 5 O levels, you will be home and dry, just come in and get trained? We need to stop this trend.
Republican President Hakainde Hichilema has, through the National Vote Protection Group, donated a sum of 100,000 kwacha to Implementers Media Team, a major group aligned with the United Party for National Development. Speaking at the handover ceremony of the funds, National Vote Protection member Inutu Piri revealed that other well-wishers also donated to the team, bringing the amount to more than the sum to 171,143 kwacha. Meanwhile, in a speech delivered on his behalf, UPND member Evans Matiola urged the Implementers team to strive towards becoming a reputable media entity, focusing on promoting national development through their platform. And Implementers team director Fred Siaba has held the president's commitment in supporting the media and has assured that the money will be used to enact positive changes in the country.
Mobile, they need to secure accommodation, they need cameras. So we're looking at not less than 200,000 for us to be able to help this team kickstart their work. They are already on the ground, but for them to continue working in a conducive environment, giving us information at the right time, they need this donation. Further, let me thank our cabinet ministers and PSs for coming through with donations of different amounts. Some PSs, I'm sure most of you who are on that particular forum will be able to see their names that are there. Some PSs that wanted their names to be withheld.
I want to say that we are ready to make good use of the money that we have received. And you see the change. You see the change. So that change should motivate others to come on board. So we ask for the support from all UPND members, from those outside the UPND members, and from the media themselves.
Going a more further
to ensure that implementers and several others, please do not accuse us to say they're only supporting implementers. Approach us from different media houses so that at the end of the day, we want you to grow and achieve your goals. Because when you achieve your goals, probably what is going to happen, one other thing that your friends should actually love you for is the initiative that you took. So the initiative that you took, others would have said for us to find ourselves in the media, being online or anything, is going to be embarrassing that we're asking for help. But there it is. Out of that rare courage, today others who accuse implementers who say, oh, either Vali Parwa or they are being favored by the party. May I state without hesitation that as a party UPND, we are not favoring implementers. We enjoy how they are growing. And we encourage all of you. We encourage all of you, even those that have been existing for some time. We call you friendly forces because we've been together for some time. So do not hesitate to approach us in order for you to achieve what you want to get done.
We now take our last break and we'll be back with some international stories and sports news. Stay tuned.
Introducing Darren B, a touch of class. Are you looking for the perfect place to elevate your style and glam up? Look no further. Darren B Touch of Class is your one-stop destination for hair and makeup transformation. Walk into Darren B and walk out feeling like a star. Your transformation starts here. Call us on 0772 870 588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049 213 to book your appointment today. Payments are made via mobile money or point-of-sale machine. Strictly no cash payments. We are located along Mossy Road in Ibex Hill, 4th close on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post. At Darren B, we pride ourselves on our team of dedicated and trained personnel ready to pamper both women and children. Darren B is open 7 days a week from 0720 hours to 1740 hours. From trendy hairstyles and stylish makeovers to flawless makeup, we do it all. Darren B, a touch of class.
Welcome back, and now in international news, Israeli forces conducted a raid on SHIFA hospital in Gaza City early Monday, alleging that Hamas militants were using it as a base of operations. According to Gaza's health ministry, the raid resulted in a fire at the hospital entrance, causing suffocation among women and children. Israel media reported that the military took control of the hospital and detained 80 people. Chief Military Spokesperson Daniel Hagari described the operation as high precision and stated that it was based on concrete intelligence regarding activities within the medical complex. The raid comes amidst desperate conditions in Gaza, with hundreds of Palestinians in Gaza City awaiting food aid on Sunday. The situation is particularly dire in northern Gaza, which has suffered widespread devastation and has been largely cut off by Israeli forces since October. For this and other international stories, we monitored African news.
Israeli forces launched another raid on the SHIFA hospital in Gaza City early on Monday, accusing Hamas militants of using it as a base. Gaza's health ministry said a fire at the hospital entrance caused suffocation, including women and children. Israeli media reports that the military took control of the hospital and detained 80 people. Hundreds of desperate Palestinians in the Gaza City waited patiently for food aid on Sunday. We're really suffering here. We've reached a point where we want to just get flour to eat. Flour isn't enough food. We're eating dry bread, but we thank God for everything in any case. Conditions are especially dire in northern Gaza, which has widespread devastation and has been largely cut off by Israeli forces since October. Up to 300,000 Palestinians are believed to have remained in the north despite Israeli evacuation orders, with many reduced to eating animal feeds in recent weeks.
We have to do all we can to help them to get out there.
The good old art of African storytelling. In the streets, in theaters or at home in Congo, all means are fit to bring storytelling to life. Just as here at the Storytelling Resource Center in Ponwa, a school that has already trained several storytellers. I chose the art of storytelling to talk about what we can contribute to society. Storytelling isn't just about words. It is also about the body, expression, and the musicality of the text, which is what carries the audience along. We can count on trainers like Joras Mabiala to perpetuate storytelling in Congo. But before this center, there were many initiatives such as the Festival de la Réalité and the RUTTO Ombongi. These programs were designed to revitalize storytelling at a time when the art was losing ground in many African societies. One of the architects of these initiatives, Joras Mabiala, acknowledges the work done to mobilize people around storytelling in Congo. What we lacked was a laboratory. So my brothers and I set up the resource center to make it a laboratory for oralité here in Congo, since at the time my father already had an audience who came to hear his stories.
As
the world celebrates International Storytelling Day on March 20th, under the theme Building Bridges, a new generation of storytellers is already in battle to perpetuate the African art of oratory. For me, storytelling awakens you. You see your mistakes, you see your advantages, you see many things, you see your destination. For Congo, the International Storytelling Day is an opportunity to reverse the trend for the young to tell stories to the old so that posterity can listen.
For many tourists, a trip to Morocco isn't complete without a visit to Marrakesh. Now, a new generation of social media influencers are making sure the historic city's hotspots are promoted to their peers across the globe. In Marrakesh, there are many things that can be used in creating content. One of the best places I go to is this terrace that makes you clearly see the beating heart of Marrakesh, which is Jemaa Lefna Square. Here we can take beautiful photos. This place gives us a wonderful view of the Kutumbia Mosque and also the old city. Abdurrahim and Abdullarit are young social media influencers. The pair have fun hanging out in the city, shooting and posting anything from juice bars and shops to historic buildings. We are trying through social media and official pages that we have to market this city because it consists of many places. As you can see, we are now in Jemaa Lefna Square. There is also Minara, the Kutumbia, and other monuments that we can market through our social media so they can be recognized by people who have never visited it before. Marrakesh's traditional riads are a haven for Gen Z influencers. It's here that they sip Moroccan tea, exchange ideas, and publish the videos to social media platforms. We are Gen Z. We are subjected to a lot of criticism. It is said that we are irresponsible, that we constantly use the phone, and that we do not do anything. I believe we have the luck to use technology and benefit from it. We are a generation that has this advantage more than previous generations, so we can use it in a positive way. One of those positives is the exposure Ibalal provides for his beloved football club, Kokab Club of Marrakesh. The content I provide is related to sports and football in general. which has large audiences because it is the most popular sport. We are here in the city of Marrakesh. That is why I provide content related to the Marrakesh Kokab Club, which is also considered one of the city's historical monuments. For decades, Marrakesh has been a tourist attraction that more often attracts older visitors or those with children. Now, its merits are being hyped to the next generation of visitors.
In sports news, Kenyan long-distance runner ASBEL RUTTO achieved a remarkable feat on Sunday for clinching victory in the Rome Marathon whilst shattering his previous record by 3 minutes. RUTTO secured his triumph with an astonishing time of 2 hours, 6 minutes and 23.6 seconds, showcasing exceptional athleticism and determination. His stellar performance placed him comfortably ahead of the competition, with the second-placed Brian Kispan trailing by over 1 minute and 30 seconds, followed closely by Sila Kipto, securing a remarkable 1-2-3 finish for Kenya.
Kenyan long-distance runner ASBEL RUTTO achieved a remarkable feat on Sunday by clinching victory in the Rome Marathon while shattering his previous record by 3 minutes. RUTTO secured his triumph with an astonishing time of 2 hours, 6 minutes and 23.61 seconds. His stellar performance placed him comfortably ahead of the competition, with second-placed Brian Kispan trailing by over 1 minute 30 seconds, followed closely by Sila Kipto. Kenya also dominated women's race, with Yvonne Lacta emerging victorious over her compatriot Lydia Simiyu. Lagat crossed the finish line after 2 hours, 24 minutes and 35.36 seconds, maintaining a lead of more than 30 seconds ahead of Simiyu.
That's it for our main news tonight. Here's a recap of the stories making headlines. BAROTSE Royal Establishment in INDUNA short date. NANJUWA launches CHIKANZA MUNYAMA irrigation project in ITEZHI-TEZHI. LEVY MWANAWASA Hospital accused of denying access to patients. In international news, Israel forces raid Gaza's SHIFA hospital. And in sports news, Kenyan athlete ASBEL RUTTO breaks record to win Rome Marathon. Our verse for the day is coming from the book of Romans 6, verse 23. For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life in Jesus Christ, our Lord. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Good night and God bless you.